It's Lightning 100's Lieutenant Dan here in Nashville, Tennessee on the last Thursday of July. And we've got Gary Sinise back here in the station, the man that inspired my namesake of Lieutenant Dan all the way back in 1997, just a few years after one of the great movies of our time, and something that changed your life forever.
Oh, completely.
Right?
I hadn't done that many movies before that.
Yeah.
I'd done a few. I did Of Mice and Men, remember the Steinbeck? I did that, and I did a few smaller things, but all of a sudden I got the part in Forrest Gump, and that turned a career in a different direction. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you were definitely a trained actor and had helped found an acting troupe in Chicago.
Steppenwolf Theater.
Yeah.
We started in 1974, so that theater company is over 50 years old now, and it started with just a bunch of teenagers. And now, if you go there, it's on the north side of Chicago. It's an entire city block building that we built there. So it's a great American dream story of just starting out with nothing and building it into something pretty big.
I mean, it's one of the best on the planet, and you were in there in the beginning.
I was 18 years old when it started, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Gary Sinise hanging out with us here. He has adopted Tennessee as his home, been here for a few years now, and moved his Gary Sinise Foundation here, which has done so many great things. You know, the first time you were here, you had given away, I think, the 93rd home to a severely wounded veteran. And I saw that the most recent number on the website, which may not even be fully accurate, is 105, which blows my mind.
That's exactly right. We're up to 105 now. Unfortunately, I wish we didn't have to do this, that we didn't have so many banged up folks that need these special homes. But as long as they need it, we'll continue to build them. We have about over 20 that are lined up in the queue right now, still badly wounded. Recently we had some wounded come in from, these rocket attacks from Iran and whatnot. People are still getting banged up, and we're going to be there to help them.
Yeah. Well, I went and watched the movie. You were executive producer of Brothers After War.
Yeah.
The documentary. And, I realize you and I have something in common, that neither of us actually served in the military. But you're Lieutenant Dan, and you've devoted your life to helping those who have served in the military and who do serve in the military,
and with family in the military,
family in the military, and being the namesake Lieutenant Dan, people are always like, oh, did you serve? And so it's something that kind of became close to me, and something that I care about, and a cause that touches me. And watching that film, Brothers After War, I realized, of course, it's a beautiful film for anyone who has served, but something that can really help people understand what it's like at war and after war for those who serve.
Yeah, my buddy Jake Rademacher made that movie, and it's a follow-up film to a movie called Brothers at War that we made well over 15 years ago. When his brothers were serving in Iraq, and he just wanted to follow them around and see what was going on. It was a difficult time. And years later, we said, hey, what happened to all the people that are in that film, that we meet in that film? Let's follow up with them. So it's a great movie. You can look it up, Brothers After War and Brothers at War. You can look it up online. And people out there that might be interested in hosting a screening or something, it's available, and we do workshops for veterans and all kinds of things through the Gary Sinise Foundation.
Well, as a person who didn't serve, it was very powerful for me to watch the film and just have a better understanding and empathy for the soldiers, and I mean, it's really sad to know that we've lost more people after war than at war.
Yeah, and well, there's a terrible, unfortunately, people take their own lives, and there's a terrible suicide epidemic, and we tried to get out ahead of that as much as we can, but it's quite a difficult problem, because quite often, even close family members do not recognize any signs, and then next thing you know, they discover somebody has taken their own life, and they never even saw the signs coming. So it's a very difficult problem. We try to make sure that our service members know that there are programs available to them if they're going through difficult things. And I am a growing foundation. It's going to keep going. We have over 100 people working for the foundation on a daily basis to serve and honor the needs of the men and women who serve our country.
Well, we love what you do, and so grateful to have you here at the station today. I have Gary Sinise. You can find out more at GarySiniseFoundation.org. We're going to be talking about more that his foundation does, and a free Labor Day weekend concert he's going to be a part of Saturday, September 5th, downtown Nashville, but also part 3 of Resurrection and Revival, original music by your son, Mac. This is the third time we've come in because it's the third release, the third album, and I bet you didn't think you were going to have a third album when you were making that first one, did you?
No, Mac had a very rare cancer. We've talked about this, Dan, called chordoma. It's something that most people have never heard about.
Yeah.
And it's so rare, there are no cures. So he fought this cancer for a long time. In the last year of his life, we lost him on January 5th, 2024. Last year of his life, he hadn't been thinking about music at all. But that year, he said he wanted to go back and finish a piece of music that he'd written in college that he never finished. It's a beautiful piece that you can see on his YouTube channel called Arctic Circles. He finished that with a buddy of his helping, Oliver Schnee, and then he said he wanted to do a whole album after they recorded that. So he ended up, by the end of 2023, with an entire 10-song album that he called Resurrection and Revival. And then after he died, I started discovering all this other music, and I came in and we did another record. I came in and played it, a bunch of songs for you.
For sure.
Resurrection and Revival Part 2.
I think that was 20 songs.
Well, there's 19 on the vinyl and 20 on the download. You're absolutely right.
Went from 10 to 20.
I thought I had found it all. And in 2025, I started searching around, and I started to find one thing after another, and it led to the creation of a third album that has over 30 pieces of music on it, orchestral, rock, there's some jazz stuff on it. Mac he wanted to write for film, and so he wanted to write all kinds of music. And so there are so much variety on this, and we're gonna play some for you today.
Yeah, we are. And so this first song that we're gonna play, tell us about discovering this song and what it meant to you when you did.
This was the song that started me on a kind of, oh wait, I just found something.
There's more
that I didn't find last year. What's this? And I found this file. He had labeled it Southern Grind. And it turned out that as I followed the clues, and I didn't know it was Mac when I listened to it.
Really?
No, I wasn't sure it was Mac, because you can hear this humming and this acoustic guitar and the drums kick in. It's a rock and blues kind of tune. I wasn't sure it was Mac, but then I followed the clues and I discovered that he was writing this piece for an industrial film. And so I tracked down the filmmakers, and it turned out that they ended up loving it, but the guys who were, producing it and everything wanted to go in a different direction. So I said, who owns this music? And they said, well, Mac does. And so that started me on this quest to find other music, and I did. I found other pieces that he wrote for this industrial film called Public Lands, and we're going to play some of those for you to start off today.
Over 30 pieces on this part 3, which you can get at GarySiniseFoundation.org. Let's take a listen to Southern Grind. It's Mac Sinise on Lightning 100. Lightning 100. That is Max Sinise, Southern Grind. And it's on Resurrection and Revival Part 3, with all proceeds going to benefit the Gary Sinise Foundation.org, which I know he was a part of as well. He had worked for you.
Oh, yeah. He loved the foundation so much. And, before he died, he said he wanted to make 100 vinyl records. He wasn't thinking that his Resurrection and Revival was he was making it for the family. He was making it for himself, just to accomplish something positive. And he said, Dad, I want to make 100 vinyls, and I want to give them to friends. And if we ever sold any, the proceeds could go to the Gary Sinise Foundation. Well, we got lots
You've
of
sold
orders.
a few, haven't you?
And between all 3 records now, we've sold over 10,000 vinyl records. You can get those at GarySiniseFoundation.org, and all the proceeds help us with our mission at the foundation. So Mac is still helping us out.
I love it, man. It's a beautiful thing and so special. We've got Gary Sinise here with us, and you found these tracks. They wouldn't have had this new life if you hadn't have gone hunting, if you hadn't have ran across Southern Grind and realized there was more to find.
So, right around the Southern, where I found Southern Grind, there were 2 other tracks. One was called Public Lands, and there was another one called The Ether, and I wasn't sure, what are these? And it turns out that all of those were tracks that Mac was working on for this industrial film. And then the next one we're going to play is a big, sweeping kind of orchestral piece. Obviously, it seems to me like, okay, you just heard Southern Grind. It's a rockin' kind of blues tune. The Ether is very different, and the next one after that we're going to play is Public Lands. They're all very different. So clearly it was saying to me that the guys that he was working for weren't sure what kind of music they wanted. So Mac just wrote a bunch of different styles and a bunch of different types of music. And with The Ether, I teamed up with Mac's producing partner, Oliver Schnee, said, Oliver, listen to this. Let's expand it. I've got some other melodies that Mac gave me. Let's put these melodies into this tune. And it's a beautiful song called The Ether.
It's on Lightning 100. Lightning 100, that is Mac Sinise, Into the Ether. And you can find it on Resurrection and Revival Part 3. His dad, Gary Sinise, my guest today, the award-winning actor and humanitarian and founder of the Gary Sinise Foundation, putting together a third part. Went from 10 tracks to 20 tracks to over 30 tracks on this third release. It's 3 pieces of vinyl. And the first song we played, Southern Grind, compared to the Ether, the same guy wrote this music.
Yeah, it's incredible how many different things he had in his head. But I'm so thankful that, after we lost Mac, that all of a sudden I started discovering this treasure in his laptop and all these beautiful pieces of music that he left, and it gave me these projects to work on. And I got to tell you, Dan, I'm as proud of these 2 projects and discovering this music and bringing it to life with Mac and his buddies as anything I've ever worked on in movies or TV. I mean, it's just beautiful to be able to. I put them all on shuffle, all 3 records, in my car, and it's going from one thing to the next, and it's always different. And just a lot of great music, and thank you for having me to be able to play this stuff for Mac.
I'm grateful as an honorary Lieutenant Dan to have you on the show, of course, and to be an independent radio station in Nashville. We're not owned by a corporation. We're owned by a guy that grew up here. In fact, he encouraged me the first time I successfully had you on. I've been trying for a long time, and there was an article in the Tennessean about you moving the Gary Sinise Foundation here to Nashville, and he forwarded it to me, and he said, "Hey Dan, it'd be pretty cool if he was on your show." And I was like, "All right, I'm gonna try again." And so finally had you here. I know that you've got to do so much and so many great things, and actually recently I went out to an event you were doing where you were feeding firefighters, volunteer firefighters in Williamson County, and you were doing that with your friend that also owns Josh Wines and
Josh Seller, yeah,
and they had donated $100,000 to help feed first responders, and I was talking to one of the firefighters there, and he was like, "Yeah, volunteerism is not at its high right now. These are all people volunteering to be firefighters. And, a lot of times by the time we get them their right certifications and they're trained, they leave and go take a paid job somewhere else."
Yeah, and you got to think most of the fire departments in the country are like that. And not all of them are Nashville, Los Angeles, New York, where they have big budgets. The government is funding them. Most of these fire departments around the country are volunteer fire departments. The one that we were at that day is just a small little firehouse. They got a certain number of folks that work other jobs, and then they come into the firehouse. And we wanted to show them some love and tell them that we appreciate what they do. And as a matter of fact, those guys were that firehouse is right near my house. They came to our house that night that I had to call the ambulance to get Mac to the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
For his final trip to the hospital. And these were the guys that showed up. And
yeah,
I wanted to do something for them. And we do these things all over the country. It's just one of the things that we do at the Gary Sinise Foundation.
And I mean, not just a little bit, but over, I think at the event you said you're around almost 1.5 million meals have been served to first responders.
You're right. We will, in November, we will be serving 1.5 million meals. We'll hit 1.5 million meals all around the country and overseas. So it's just one of the things that we do. It's not so much about feeding hungry firefighters or military folks because they don't have any food. It's about
showing them love.
Yeah, it's the message of appreciation and gratitude and remembrance that we remember what they're doing.
I saw it. You were taken seriously. You're serving the beans.
Dan, that's my thing. I'm the bean guy.
The bean man. And serving first responders kickstarted. I mean, that's what you in the very beginning to start the Gary Sinise Foundation. Is that?
That goes back well over 20 years. After September 11th, I just started reaching out, and I reached out to New York City firefighters and started supporting them in different ways. And then when I started the foundation, we wanted to make first responder outreach a priority. So now we've provided grants and equipment and training and all kinds of things to fire departments all over the country.
I ran across a documentary about the Lieutenant Dan Band that came out in 2011, and when I see that date 2011, I wasn't connecting it to 9/11, but really that would have been the 10th anniversary of 9/11 in 2011, and it starts off with footage down there, and it shows you, and it talks to a guy that you met on a bus, and
no, I met him on a C-130 going from Kuwait to Baghdad back in 2003. He was a firefighter, former firefighter, U.S. Marine. He was the father of two boys who were both killed, sons. One was a firefighter, the other a police officer. They were both killed when the towers came down, and we became fast friends. And he introduced me to the FDNY, and now I've done, just dozens and hundreds of events, all over the country. And
yeah. And he took you to the he wanted to take you to the fire hall. That was his
he
son's.
invited me to come to the firehouse that his son was stationed at. They lost 6 firefighters that day. And then, when Mac loved the mission at the Gary Sinise Foundation. He was on the road with bands after college, and he was starting to get tired of that. And I said, come work at the foundation. And he loved the mission. He loved the firefighters. He loved supporting the veterans, World War II veterans, all of that. And now his music, the vinyls continue to support the Gary Sinise Foundation.
There we go.
It's amazing.
We have just gotten part 3. It came out just a couple weeks ago, Resurrection and Revival Part 3. Let's talk about this song here, Public Land. So this is going to be the next one we play.
Public Lands was the project that Mac was working on, writing music for, this industrial film. So you heard Southern Grind, very different. It's a rock and blues tune. Then you hear The Ether, which is a big sweeping orchestral piece. Both of them could be in movies. He wanted to write for movies. Public Lands is another direction that he was going. I think the filmmakers weren't sure what direction they wanted, so Mac wrote a bunch of different styles, and this next one is actually one that was filed in his files under Public Lands, and so this one's called Public Lands.
It's Mac Sinise on Lightning 100. Lightning 100, Max Sinise, Public Lands. I've got Gary Sinise here in the studio with me. Resurrection and Revival Part 3 is where you can find that one. We could go 3 hours playing all these songs. There's a lot on this record.
There's a lot, and there's a lot of different styles. You know, the next one we're going to do is back to like it's a rockin' tune. I'll tell you, this next one's called Falling Into You, and I'll tell you about it. I found Max singing into his phone this melody. You know, of songwriters, they will get ideas, and then they record them and tuck them away, and so they don't forget them.
Yeah.
And sometimes they get back to him, sometimes they don't, who knows. And I found a lot of those kinds of ideas. Mac just laying down these ideas and maybe wanting to get back to it someday. So I found him singing this melody. And at the very beginning of this next track, you'll hear him singing before the horns and everybody comes in. I gave the melody to Dan Myers, who Mac worked with on, you know, other music.
Yeah.
Dan does a couple of things on Resurrection and Revival Part 2. Dan plays with my band. He's excellent. And he took this melody, and then I found all these lyrics in a journal. And I gave those to Dan, and he took the melody, the lyrics, and we made a song, a beautiful song called Falling Into You.
Let's do it. It's Max Sinise on Lightning 100.
I'm better, but the fallout's too relentless. You and me together then seem to fit just right. Whoa. People running from the misconceptions, thinking better is much better with intention. You and me together then falling fast yet falling slow. Falling under, falling over, falling into you. Where the world is falling down, I'll be falling into you. Falling faster, falling forward, falling into new. Where the world is falling down, I'll be falling into you. What should I do when the damage is done? How should I be when it's all becoming undone? What do we do when we don't have a hold of it all? Whoa. What's up to do when I hand all my thoughts to you? What can I say when the words don't seem to ring true? Reach to the top, try to stop, here's the drop, we're gonna fall. Falling under, falling over, falling into view. Where the world is falling down, I'll be falling into you. Falling faster, falling forward, falling into new. Where the world is falling down, I'll be falling into you. Felt so far, feeling like we've never felt before. Oh, it's so real. Since I've fallen just to search for something more. Falling slow. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Falling under, falling over, falling into view. Where the world is falling down, I'll be falling with you. I felt so far pretending.
Lightning 100. That is Max Sinise, Falling Into You. And I got Gary Sinise singing along to it here in the studio with us. It's on Resurrection and Revival Part 3, which you can get at the GarySiniseFoundation.org. I know this is all bittersweet for you. It's you lost your son. You have put so much work into finding these songs and turning them into something that, I see the joy brings you and the joy brings others. I mean, you've sold over 10,000 of these albums.
Yeah, it's incredible. People continue to go to GarySiniseFoundation.org. They buy the vinyls. Some people buy the vinyls even when they don't have a record player, just because it supports the Gary Sinise Foundation and the mission of what we're doing. And I've had people write and said, I bought the record and then I went out and got a record player.
Yes.
But vinyls are coming back.
They are back.
Of course, all of it is downloadable too on all the platforms and everything. But we participate at the foundation through the sales of the vinyls. And I found so much. I found all these lyrics in his journal for songs that he was writing and working on that he never did anything with. And so when Dan, on this last song, Dan Myers,
from the Lieutenant Dan Band,
from my band, Dan's excellent. When I gave that melody of the song you just heard, Falling Into You, to Dan, he said, does Mac have any lyrics? And I said, yes, he does. There's a whole bunch of them. So I gave a bunch of lyrics to Dan. He started working on that song. But within the lyrics I gave him, there was a song that Mac wrote called Small Talk. And Dan, I was thinking, well, Dan might pull some lyrics out of this one and pull some lyrics out of that and make that song Falling Into You. But Dan loved this Small Talk, the lyrics for Small Talk so much that he went and put music to Small Talk. And that's the next one we're going to hear. We're going to hear Small Talk by Max Sinise and Dan Myers.
Let's do it. It's on Lightning 100.
Is it really rude to say how you truly feeling? Maybe that's the only way you can seem appealing. Tell me if your life's okay, how your day is really going. Be careful what you say, unless you like knowing. Hi, hey, hello. Does it all end in small talk? How much deeper can we go? Hear me out before you write it off. Might be best for you to know. Does it all end in small talk? There's no need for you to show. Hear me out before you write it off. Tell a lie before you go. Put your hand up on my heart, you can feel it beating. Maybe not every little thought comes out, needs completing. Tell me if your life's okay, and how it's really going. Really down to being careful, and I like knowing. Hi, hey, hello. Does it all end in small talk? telling your worst opinion. Let your thoughts pour out, they'll disappear into the dark. Read your words in harmony in this diary we are. Let your thoughts pour out, they'll disappear into the dark. Read the words in harmony in this diary we are. And if you miss me, I'm never gone. If you miss me, I am never gone. In this sleepy song. Feelings flowing, regrets reaching. As a pen touches paper, kissing, gliding, angels singing. As the page turns the page, you must be so worn, so torn. This weight that's on your mind, lift your soul, drift off till morn. Your dreams you'll always find. So let your thoughts pour out, they'll disappear into the dark. Read the words in harmony in this diary we are. Let your thoughts pour out, they'll disappear into the dark. Read the words in harmony in this diary we are. And if you miss me, I'm never gone. If you miss me, I am never gone. In this sleepy song, in this sleepy song, in your sleepy song.
Lightning 100, Max Sinise, Sleepy Song. That's from Resurrection and Revival Part 3. His dad, Gary Sinise, has been executive producer of these albums, and you can get him at GarySiniseFoundation.org. And a familiar voice on that track.
Yeah, so that's John Ondrasik from Five for Fighting. John is a very, very dear friend of mine. Mac loved John. John loved Mac. Mac backed John up a few times on drums, and they were good buddies. They loved each other. And I found these lyrics called "Sleepy Song" in Mac's journal, and they're written from the point of view of the diary talking to Mac at night. Let your thoughts pour out; they'll disappear into the dark.
That's incredible.
The lyric, it's a really cool concept, and I gave those lyrics and a little piano thing that I found of Mac noodling on the piano. I gave them to John and said, "Do you want to write a song with Mac?" John said yes, and he went to work on Sleepy Song. And it's a beautiful song. There's a little YouTube video of it on Mac Sinise YouTube where you can just read the lyrics and listen to the song.
I'll be sure to share that. We'll share that.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. The next one we're going to do is another one. I found lyrics for a song called "Walk Before You Run." And Mac wrote these lyrics in his journal, and then I found him playing acoustic guitar and humming a melody. I took that acoustic and the melody and the lyrics and gave it to Dan Myers again, and Dan went to work on this beautiful, great song that we play in my band now. It's called "Walk Before You Run."
It's Max Sinise on Lightning 100.
reflecting the light. I remember your tears were like crystals. Stop to laugh before you cry. Raise your hands to the sky. There's always something that's missing. When we talk before we listen. Walk before you run. Walk before you run. Before you come undone. Walk before you run. I was in light. You go close to the lonely part of me. We question what's right. Pain is the only thing you see. Raise your hands to the sky. Learn to live before you die. There's always something missing. When we talk before we listen. Look back, come down, slow down a little. For this will never end. There's always something we're missing. When we talk before we listen. Raise your hands to the sky. Learn to live before you die. There's always something missing. When we talk before we listen. Stop to laugh before you cry. Raise your hands to the sky. There's always something that's missing. When we talk before we listen. Walk before you run. Walk before you run. Before you come undone. Walk before you run. 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 There's always something missing. Walk before you run. Walk before you run. There's always something missing. Walk before you run. Walk before you run. There's always something missing. It's no mystery that we've lost the light. One last talk with me, one last little fight. Can't help but give in when our carousel spins all night. All night. All night. I just wanted to see us watch the light. Can't help but give in when our carousel spins all night. All night. I can't help but give in when our carousel spins all night.
Lightning 100, Max Sinise, and Carousel. That's beautiful. I really like that.
Yeah, another amazing tune that I found. And the file said Carousel on it, and it had a label that said Alex. Now, Alex Morgan is a buddy of Max from high school. They had their first high school band with Alex, and they played with each other in bands,
Yeah.
you know, all the way. And I discovered it, and it was something that Mac was working on around right after he got out of college, and he pulled Alex in to work on it with him. I found more lyrics in the journal. There was tons of lyrics.
Yeah.
Found more, and this beautiful recording of about 2.5 minutes worth. And I said, and it was unfinished. And so I went to Alex and said, "What was this, Alex? This was really cool." And he goes, "Yeah, we never finished that one." I said, "Well, you're going to finish it. So go to work on this." And it's a beautiful piece called Carousel. It's just another different type of song that's on the record.
It's so cool. I'm glad that there's 3 pieces of vinyl for this, because it really kind of goes on a journey, whether it's feeling more orchestral or something you'd hear, you know, watching a TV show, or something that sounds like a modern new alternative song.
You're right. Yeah,
It's pretty
quite
pretty
a
awesome.
variety on the tunes.
And it was fun when we were playing "Walk Before You Run." You shared a story to me off mic about the music video that exists for that.
Yeah,
one.
if you go to Max Sinise YouTube, again, there's YouTube videos from all 3 records. But on that one, there's a particular. It's pretty funny at the beginning what the band did. I mean, we recorded at Blackbird in Nashville on Halloween last year. We recorded that song and "Falling Into You" and some of the other ones. And I was sitting there in the studio, a little bit emotional, because the last time I had been at that studio was with Mac when we were recording on the first record. And I was just kind of quiet in there by myself, and all of a sudden my band members started coming in, and they had Halloween costumes on.
Okay.
And I'm not going to tell you what the Halloween costumes were. You got to go to Max Sinise YouTube and check it out. It's pretty entertaining.
All right, I'm pulling it up right now. We're going to take a quick break. My guest today is Lieutenant Dan. It's Gary Sinise hanging out with me here on Lightning 100.
The Black Keys. Peaches and Cream World Tour 2026.
They wanna get mine.
Live at the Pinnacle, August 6th and 7th. The Black Keys with special guest Eddie 9-Volt. Get tickets now at thepinnaclenashville.com. The brand new album Peaches is available everywhere May 1st. For more, visit theblackkeys.com.
Train Drops of Jupiter 25 Years in the Atmosphere Tour.
Tell me, did the wind sweep you off your feet?
This Friday, Ascend Amphitheater.
Hey, so sister.
Train with special guests Bare Naked Ladies
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
and Matt Nathanson. On sale at livenation.com. Presented by Save Me San Francisco Wine Company by Gestalt.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong?
I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000 $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000.
Hey, it's David Hooper, host of Music Business Radio. If you love music, come spend an hour with us as we take you behind the scenes of the music biz. My guest this week is Jason Davis. He's an artist manager from the company 117 Entertainment. He's worked with acts like Boyz II Men, P. Diddy, and Lone Star. What are we going to talk about, Jason?
Well, we're going to talk about the importance of maintaining some element of mystery as an artist, my time working with Dolly Parton and her team, and staying grounded when success comes your way.
Music Business Radio, Sunday mornings at 11, with a replay Monday nights at 9 on Lightning 100.
Lightning flashes for Thursday, July 30th. We're heading to Ascend Amphitheater tomorrow for Train with Bare Naked Ladies and Matt Nathanson at 6:45. On Saturday at Ascend Amphitheater, it's Bob Dylan with Lucinda Williams getting underway at 7. And Saturday night at the Basement East, Lightning 100 presents the Jerry Garcia 84th birthday celebration featuring members of Los Colones, Future Birds, Stolen Faces, Lily Winwood, J.D. Simo, and a whole lot more celebrating Jerry Garcia and the Dead catalog. You can find more on the concert calendar at lightning100.com. My guest today, Gary Sinise, hitting overtime with me here. He's got a show he is going to be a part of Labor Day weekend as the Nashville Symphony and Nashville Downtown Partnership announced the free Labor Day concert with Gary Sinise, American Mosaic, to honor America 250. We'll have a celebration and a lot of fun out at Walk of Fame Park. It is going to be happening at 7:30 p.m. That sounds like a really cool event that you're going to be out there for.
There's awesome music that's on the bill. You have Leonard Slotkin, who's conducting.
Yeah.
He is even going to do one of Mac's pieces called The Veterans from Resurrection and Revival Part 2. So, and I'm narrating American Mosaic, which is this incredible piece of music and visuals and
Are you going to be
everything.
there doing it live?
I'll be doing it live. Yeah,
That's so cool.
Absolutely. So, and they'll be playing Mac's music. I mean, it'll just be a spectacular night.
America, of course, just had our 250th birthday. And I saw the Nashville Symphony is having its 80th birthday.
That's right. That's what they told me just yesterday. I was on with them. Yeah.
So cool. Well, we're having some fun here. I know it brings you a lot of joy to share Mac's music with the world. This is the third installment, part 3. It benefits the Gary Sinise Foundation, which just has done so much, and we love what they do. Over 100 houses to severely wounded veterans. I hope everyone will take the time to watch Brothers at War and Brothers After War, which you're executive producer of. Whether you served or you had a family member who did, or you didn't at all, and you just want a glimpse into the world before and after war.
Yeah, that's right. When Brothers at War, you can see, soldiers going through life in the military and their families going through military life. And then after war, they've transitioned out of the military. And what's that like? It can be difficult for some of them. And each of them has their own story. And we try to follow a lot of the people in Brothers After War who were in the first movie, Brothers at War. You can look those both up online and see what they're all about.
And, it's the story of the soldiers, their partners, their kids, their family members. I mean, it affects all those people deeply.
Absolutely, and both films have helped a lot of people. My buddy Jake Rademacher, who made the movies, has been doing nonstop workshops on military bases and veterans hospitals and veteran centers all over the country. he's made it a mission to use those movies to help people, and it's really beautiful. And we support him and his work at the Gary Sinise Foundation.
And the album, if you're enjoying the music today, there are you can actually, I saw at GarySineseFoundation.org, you can get the whole thing. You can get part 1, 2, and 3 combined in a big one. If you already got 1 and 2, you can get 3.
That's right, the vinyls at GarySineseFoundation.org. There's so much music on part 3. I got to tell you, I brought so many of Mac's pals together. In fact, we just had a podcast launch. We have a podcast at the Gary Sinise Foundation, and I brought all the collaborators together for the podcast. And we all sit there and we talk about the music and putting together part 3 and all the different types of music that are on it. The next tune is one. We're going to do "Wrong Direction" in the next one. The next tune is a co-write between Mac and his buddy Jake Hayes, the son of actor Robert Hayes, who was in the Airplane movies. Remember Robert Hayes? I mean, hilarious guy. And Jake is his son, and I knew Robert, and he had a son who played guitar. I have a son who played drums. We got them together years ago, and they became great friends and played together. And then I brought Jake on board to work on some of the music on part 3. He worked on some of it on part 2. And I found a chart that Mac wrote called Creaking Doors. And it was sheet music for piano, bass, and drums, this melody and all these chord changes and everything like that. Then I found lyrics for something that Mac had written a bunch of lines, and one of the lines is, "I might be slipping in the wrong direction." And that was a line he wrote in college. So I mean, he might have been slipping in the wrong
College
direction.
days.
And he wrote that, and we took those lyrics and that sheet music, and Jake did an incredible job writing a really cool tune called "Wrong Direction."
It's Mac Sinise on Lightning 100.
Choke on feathers. I think I might be yours forever. There are words that feel like a letter. Understand me once or never. Take a trip and fly together. What's the least not ease the weather? I might have caught a cold, chill fever there. I sat right down and wrote you off a letter. And I'm feeling better, better, better. I think I might be sitting in the wrong direction. I might be sitting in the wrong direction. I think I might be sitting in the wrong direction. I might be sitting in the wrong direction. Tell me I can take whatever. Make you think I've got it all together. But it won't be till my bones are weathered. From the breeze that plucks your feathers. Clip your wings and walk forever. Let's at least enjoy the weather. I might have caught a cold chill fever there. I sat right down and wrote you off a letter. And I'm feeling better, better, better. I think I might.
Lightning 100, Max Sinise. Man, that was a lot of fun. That was Blue Blood and Ivory. Max Sinise, these tracks, they are great, man.
That is a tune that he wrote in college with a buddy named Brett Fromson.
Yeah.
And they went to college together, and, they had a class project, and, they were in a pop music program at USC Music School. And, a lot of what they had to do was they would team up with different people in the music program on different projects and create and write. And this was a chart that I found in Mac's files called Blue Blood and Ivory, all the lyrics, the chords, all that stuff. And it said Max Sinise and Brett Fromson. So I looked for
him
Brett.
up.
I found Brett. And in fact, his Oliver, who was producing the record, he knew Brett from college because they all went to college together. So he put me in touch with Brett. And then I was able to bring Brett on board to finish the song, work on it. And we put a great bunch of people together. Jake Hayes was on it. Alex Morgan was on it. Great female singer that we played a couple of tracks named Lou Roy, who they went to college together, and Lou sings on it. Brett sings the lead on it. And then I reached out to Mac's drum teacher, Greg Bissonette.
Wow.
Greg was Mac's drum teacher in California for many, many years. He lived about 20 minutes from our house.
No wonder he's so good.
Yeah, and Mac just, Mac learned a lot from Greg. Greg happened to have this one day available, and I said, Greg, would you come in and play drums on this track? So Greg Bissonette is drumming on that track, and we threw in some moments where Greg could just cut loose a little bit and play some fills. It's another great rockin' song that they do on this record, but there's so much variety on the record. I found Mac playing all these piano tunes. We're going to play a few of these kinds of things now. And one of the things I found, he labeled in his files, all it said was 6/8 piano comp sad. And that's how he labeled it. And it's a beautiful, beautiful melody that he was playing. And I found it, and I gave it to my piano player, Ben Lewis, who does 5 different tracks on this record. Ben loved Mac, and Ben worked on things from the first record and the second record. And I gave this track, Mac playing, which you can hear at the very beginning. I put in Mac's original demo, and we thought we'd create a beautiful jazz ballad with a quartet. And so this is going to be, Ben Lewis and Max Sinise, Mac and Ben working on a song that we call 6/8 Jazz Ballad.
It's on Lightning 100. Lightning 100, Max Sinise, and Legacy on WRLT Franklin in Nashville. Got his dad, Gary Sinise, in here. Just released Resurrection and Revival Part 3, which is a 3-album series here. And, man, this really spans so much, covers so much ground sonically.
Cool. Yeah, it takes you all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the great rockin' tunes and all of this. You've got that beautiful jazz ballad, 6/8 jazz ballad. That was Harry Waters playing trombone and the soloing on that. That's a composition between Mac and Ben Lewis. This last one that you just heard is called Legacy Mac Melody Medley #1. Now, Legacy was this file that I found of Mac playing this beautiful melody on piano. And it was labeled Legacy Piano. That's it. It was just another musical idea he was working on, and he filed it away under Legacy Piano. I found that, and then I found these other melodies of him playing these other melodies on piano. And so I went to Ben Lewis, and he's just brilliant at working on these things. And I said, Ben, I've got all these melodies. We can't do one song out of each melody, but what if we take 3 of them and put them together into one piece, and then Oliver can arrange around that. And so Ben took the 3 piano melodies, put them all together. Oliver took that and then arranged around it, a beautiful orchestration, as you just heard. And so it's a Mac Melody Medley is what it is, #1. And there's another tune on the record on Part 3 called Sweet Piano, Mac Melody Medley #2. And that's a bunch of beautiful piano melodies that Ben put together.
That's so cool.
Well.
You captured his brilliance, and get to share it now with everybody.
I knew he was talented, Dan. But I didn't know he was writing all these different things and tucking them away. And, when I found this music in his files, I thought, I can't just leave it on the laptop. I've got to do something with it. And you and I were talking, off camera or off mic.
Yeah.
And I said, if I was somebody who didn't know music, a dentist who has no musical ability or anything like that, this music might have just stayed there. But I'm fortunate. I have my own band. I'm a musician. I can recognize good music, and I know how to put it together. I know the people to call to help me do it. Oliver was tremendous again on working with me on Part 3. And we have so many different types of music. You can just go through this.
I know.
It's a lot of great stuff. The next thing we're going to do is this piece I found that Mac wrote in college. And he plays drums on it, and he sings on it. And it was songwriting class or something like that. And he wrote it, he recorded it, tucked it away. Never heard it. I never heard it until after, we lost him, and I started looking through the files. And so I went to his buddy Jake Hayes again, who did the piece Wrong Direction that we heard earlier.
Yeah.
And I said, Jake, let's take this, add some guitars to it, throw your voice in, sing along with Mac, let's put some touches on it and pull this song together and make it great. And so Jake went to work on it. And so it's a Mac Sinise, Jake Hayes song called The Everyday.
On Lightning 100.
Too much to hide. A world that grips us so tight. Why can't I look away now? Drop it off, no, and just breathe. Love stops and sounds of silence. On the end with one land. Thinking thoughts of insecurity. Simple way living to be free. Will I find the will to fight through this decay? do I find myself here? No path really ever seems clear. Those days won't carry me, so I guess I'm meant to please. The crowds are growing slowly. I'll disappear completely. What I need is to break through. Rise up just to be me. Just to be me. Fall. When all your friends are gone, will you hear this song that says you're not alone? When all your plans go wrong, when you're not so strong, will you begin to take a second look around?
So quick to shoot them down, and I know you're sick of it, of all those sycophants. Don't be a hypocrite, I know you
is all she can believe. Her fame and fortune keep her hiding. The house is always so empty, and all of her friends are gone. All her friends are gone. When all your friends are gone, will you hear this song that says you're not alone? When all your plans go wrong, when you're not so strong, will you begin to take a second look around?
Lightning 100, Max Sinise, Friends. We got a friend of the station here, Gary Sinise, hanging out with us. Just put out Resurrection and Revival Part 3. If you've been enjoying what you're hearing, you can get it on vinyl at GarySiniseFoundation.org. It's available everywhere else for streaming. It seems like you had a lot of fun making this project and reaching out and finishing these songs, and you kept on talking about different recording studios you ended up in because of this project.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. You know, I thought in 2024 when we made the second record, Part 2, gosh, I found all this music. Look, and then I started to discover all this other music in 2025, and that particular song that you just heard just now, that was Mac. Playing guitar, this beautiful little melody on guitar, him singing. I found 20 pages of lyrics for that particular song. It's called Friends.
What?
And he was just writing a lot of lyrics for that song. And I found him singing the melodies, the chorus, all these different things. And again, I went to his buddy Alex Morgan and said, Alex, listen to this. Let's go to work on it and finish it. So he went to work on it, and then Oliver Schnee came on board, and the two of them took what Mac had written and shaped it and worked with it, added some things. Alex added his voice, and we have this beautiful song called Friends. That's on the record as well. There's so much music, we can't play it all, obviously. But
We've played a lot.
but we played a lot, and I
we scratched the
appreciate it,
surface pretty hard, and grateful to get to do it anytime. This is your backyard now. You've lived here in the Nashville area for...
It's coming up on 3 years.
3 years now. So
pretty soon.
Gary Sinise Foundation got moved here as well, and they've done so much. I know that the Lieutenant Dan Band, that the members of that band have been a big part of this project and the music that you've put out. 625 Lieutenant Dan Band concerts since 2003.
Something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of concerts. We played a lot of concerts all around the world on military bases and military hospitals, and we played at the Opry a couple of times. We're going to be at the Opry again September 18th.
And tell me about Nashville Salutes Heroes.
Yeah, so that's then the September 18th is a part of an event we call Nashville Salutes Heroes. Last year we did it. We had done this in California early on in my foundation life. I wanted to bring some of our wounded and some of our heroes who might be struggling, bring them to Hollywood and do a big Hollywood Salutes Heroes for them. I had a lot of people from the business come out and cheer them on and support them. When we moved to Nashville, I wanted to do the same thing here. So last year we produced Nashville Salutes Heroes. We brought in 50 of our heroes from around the country. We celebrate them for 4 or 5 days, give them all expense paid trip, and just show them how much we appreciate them and we're grateful, and we salute them. And it went so well last year, I want to make an annual event of it. And so we have Nashville Salutes Heroes coming up in September, and my band will be playing the finale at the Opry. It's the only thing that's not a surprise for all of them. We bring them in. We don't tell them what they're going to be doing.
Oh, nice.
But the Opry's going to be promoting
They're going to know. They're going to know about that.
Yeah, the Opry's going to promote the fact that I'm there on the bill with, I'm sure, what will be a lot of great artists on the bill that night, and it'll be a great night to salute our heroes.
As they should. You have a book out, and you're going to be putting out another book, Graceful Warrior.
Yeah, Graceful Warrior is, along with these two records, parts 2 and 3 that I've been working on the past couple of years, I've also been working on a book, and my son Mac is kind of at the center of it, and there was so much that had gone into everything, leading up to the discovery of music and all of that, but it's really a family story and how the family kind of persevered through this very, very serious illness that he had, incurable cancer. And, after he died, about 6 weeks after he died, I posted a story about him on the Gary Sinise Foundation website because we have a lot of donors and we have a lot of people that had no idea. I didn't talk about it publicly when we were going through everything with Mac, but I thought, there's a lot of supporters that, I just let them know that we lost one of our team members at the Gary Sinise Foundation who happened to be my son. And so I posted that story, and we got so many responses from it. People that had gone through similar things with their own children and lost their own children. And they were very supportive in how they were responding to the story and kind of grateful that I decided to share the story. So I thought, I'll write more, and I'll go more in depth by writing a book. And Graceful Warrior is the title. And that came from an interview that I had done with somebody. And they asked me about Mac, and I said, he fought so hard, courageously, and he was like a graceful warrior, and that kind of stuck. In fact, Greg Bissonette, the drummer, heard that interview, and he wrote to me, and he said, gosh, Graceful Warrior, that's exactly right for Mac. And it just stuck. And he was struggling, and it was very, very challenging and very difficult for our family. But Mac was so graceful in the way he was dealing with it that it helped everybody around him to get through it. Because if he was negative all the time and, really letting it get him down, it wasn't like that. If he wasn't sick from the chemo or in pain or something like that, he was smiling and living his life and showing us what living each day really means. And so I have this book coming out on his birthday, November 10th, and I'll be, doing events around the country. In fact, one of the events is coming up at the end of August at the Skylight Music Theater in Milwaukee, where we'll be doing the Graceful Warrior concert with a lot of Mac's music, a 35-piece orchestra on stage. Some of my band members will be there performing the music, and I'll be narrating passages from the book during the event. We're going to feature the music and Mac's story, and it's going to be a real celebration of him.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
You can find out more at GarySiniseFoundation.org. And right in our backyard, Labor Day weekend, there's a free Labor Day weekend concert Saturday, September 5th, 7:30 p.m. at the Walk of Fame Park with the Nashville Symphony. And you'll be there to narrate American Mosaic.
Yeah, American Mosaic is a fabulous piece. They asked me to do it. I got to meet Leonard Slotkin. In fact, Leonard and I met. We were both honored with the Lincoln Medal at Ford's Theater.
That's cool.
In like late May, early June.
Yeah.
And it just turned out that they had asked me to come and narrate with Leonard, and we were both receiving this award. We got to talk to each other. He asked me about my son. I told him about my son, Mac, and his compositions. Leonard immediately that night downloaded his albums and listened to them. And then he came to me the next day and he said he wanted to do one of Mac's pieces at the Labor Day concert. So they're going to be doing this piece called The Veterans that is on Resurrection and Revival Part 2. What an honor to be a part of that, to have Mac be a part of that. The
Sure.
National Symphony Orchestra has played his pieces. The Nashville Symphony is going to play the veterans. The president's own Marine Band has played a couple of the pieces. So if these orchestras are playing the music, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
It sure is. And we've got one more piece to play before our show's over today.
We do, and it happens to be one of these big orchestral pieces. I mentioned the National Symphony Orchestra. For 20 years, I've done the Memorial Day concert in front of the Capitol in Washington, D.C. And this past year, they played two of Mac's pieces during the concert. One is called The Rise. I think last time I was with you, Dan, we probably played The Rise. It's a big patriotic piece. And the newest one is on Resurrection and Revival Part 3. I found a file that Mac had written, and he labeled it Triumphant Horn Theme. And I clicked on it, and it was Mac playing the piano and thumping out this melody. Then I found him singing these other kind of patriotic, inspirational melodies that were in his head into his phone. I took all that stuff and gave it to Oliver Schnee, his producing partner and my partner on part 2 and 3, and said, Oliver, we're going to create a big patriotic piece out of this. And so we're going to finish with this big piece that Mac wrote with Oliver Schnee, and you'll hear Mac thumping out the melody at the beginning of the tune, and this one's called Triumphant.
It's on Lightning 100. Lightning 100. That was Max Sinise, our triumphant finish to the show today. And man, I just got to say, Gary, thank you so much for coming in and hanging with us and guiding us on this 2-hour journey through this album that we didn't even get to everything on the record.
Dan, thanks so much for playing the music. It's good music. Again, the vinyls are on sale at GarySiniseFoundation.org. All the proceeds go into the foundation, and you can download all the records and hear this music. And Dan's going to keep playing it.
That's right. It's true. You are going to keep, making the world a better place. And I just want to say thank you. I get to, because I introduced myself as Lightning 100's Lieutenant Dan, I get to say, I've had Gary Sinise on the show before, and then people are like, you have? That's so cool. And then I get to be like, yeah, and he's a really great guy. And the Gary Sinise Foundation does really great things. The thing that that blew me away was the first time you were on here. Before he had given away 105 houses. You're only on 93 or 94. But you knew the person's name without a note card, without someone whispering in your ear. You're that involved in what you do, and it's amazing.
You know what? I have a great team of people. I mean, we started out with just a couple of people, and me footing the bill for everything, and now we have over 100 employees at the Gary Sinise Foundation. We just celebrated our 15th anniversary. We're in our 16th year. We have tremendous, generous Americans from all over the country that support us and support what we're doing. We, the more support we get, the more we can expand our programs and help more people at the foundation. But yeah, I'm involved. You bet. I'm pretty involved in what we're doing, and I have just a tremendous team and great board of directors and everybody pitching in to make it work.
I love that. Of course, I highlight you and you start talking about your team. So that just shows what a great guy you are. Today, I'm not an employee. I am a volunteer. And if you'd like to find out more, you can head over to GarySiniseFoundation.org. Be sure to join us for the free Labor Day weekend concert Saturday, September 5th, 7:30 p.m. Yes, you're going to Free Fest with us at Centennial Park. That ends at 6. Then you can head out to the Walk of Fame Park with the Nashville Symphony and Gary Sinise. More info at GarySiniseFoundation.org.